Peter Pumpkin Cheetah, the Family Guy Halloween special. That is exclusively on Hulu in the States and Disney Plus around the world. And the thing is about Family Guy, I mean, it's probably a hard show to actually review because like something like The Simpsons, which is a show that have started to talk about and review on here, is with Simpsons is a plot. Sometimes it's a thin plot, sometimes it's a flesh out plot, sometimes it's in the middle, but there's a plot in there and characters grow and develop inside like the Trainman format, where with some jokes in there. Sure, maybe they change, we learn, go and do the same mistakes, but it's still the same mistakes. It's still a character arc in those episodes. When it comes to Family Guy, it feels like it's just here's a bunch of jokes. Here's a thin plot that can pepper jokes after jokes after jokes. Sounds like they. By the way, did they finish not doing the cutaways anymore? Because it just felt like they just stopped doing cutaways. Yeah, Family Guy is one of the shows I'm like, I'll occasionally watch episode two, but I'm like, okay. But I'm just surprised, like, oh, the cutaways in this episode. But anyway, but Family Guy, it has such a thin of a plot for episodes, just so you can pepper jokes in. And so it's a pretty hard show to talk about, except saying, "Oh, I found that funny. No, I found that funny. No, that was funny, but that didn't work for me in humor wise." You know what I mean? But I thought, hey, it's a Halloween special, worth talking about, right? And what I found with this episode to be is that I was more invested with because there's two stories going on. There's a Peter story and there's a Brian Stewie story in this episode. And I find myself being more invested with Stewie and Brian than Peter's story. It could easily be like, look, those two characters, yeah, Brian and Stewie, I kind of have become like the heart of the show. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked that if one day they just end the show, they'll go like, why don't we just make a Stewie and Brian spin-off? Why don't we just do that? You know, but Stewie is in primary school and he's in primary school and Brian's there to help him on the way. With something on those lines. Um, they have basically come, those two characters have once again have become the heart of the show. So clearly, I'm a little bit more invested with those two characters, say Peter and like Jeremiah and Joe and Cleveland, in that. So I mean, so which story should I talk about first? Let's talk about Peter's first. Okay, so Peter's story in this is that Joe has entered himself into a pumpkin competition. He's so proud of it, he can't shut up about it. He's like pumpkin this. Every word coming in his mouth is about the goddamn pumpkin. And so, because Peter Quagmire Cleveland is like, for God's sake, can he shut up about this pumpkin? They thought, why don't we just steal the pumpkin, hide the pumpkin away? And while doing that, they actually break the pumpkin. And so, to let Joe still entered into the competition. Peter, who is stupidly is like 375 pounds, which is the same amount of weight as the pumpkin is. He's like, why just sneak into the bottom of the pumpkin and be inside the pumpkin just so I can it's the actual weight of it for the weighing side of things. So and there's like the competition. There's one character who's like the hot shot, the one who always wins, who's voiced by Glenn Powell. There's a joke with his character with like, "Hey, I have Bonnie and him." It's like, no. That's all just pumpkin talk. That's just pumpkin lottery stuff. Which you can't help but to say, like, even Bonnie, he says, no, it's pumpkin talking here. It says pumpkin competition stuff. It just kind of shows how much naive, Joe is. Like, he's just thinking, oh, he's facing things face value with what Bonnie says. And you're just thinking, God, no, read the room, dude. Your wife is actually cheating on you with this other guy. She's not just being like the hot supporter. It's like no, no, no. She's high in bed with him. He's you know inserting some pumpkin seeds inside her. You know what I mean? So it's just there's a little bit of humor in showing the naive of Joe there. But I thought that that storyline was like fine, or at least the least appealing one. The other one, once again, dealing with Stu and Brian, which is about essentially Chucky. It's basically Chucky. It's like, what if Rupert was Chucky and scientists wanted to kill people, just kill, 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 or better, better description because the whole kill doll thing, um, is the Simpsons episode where Krusty, you know, the evil Krusty doll, wanted to kill Homer. It's more like that because what happens is Stewie and Barney go costume shopping for trick or treat, and Stewie finds a Shiny and Cher outfit, and clearly Stewie's gonna be Cher, and Brian is gonna be Sonny, and he's like, fine. Brian's like, I don't want to do this, but I'll be Sonny, and there's a big out a giant big a bait, a giant big fight, and it comes down to like, why you like Wolford, why you like Wolford being fucking Sonny, and that equals Stewie to do this evil Frankenstein kind of thing. It's not alive, but turns out Wolford is alive, and Stewie actually says the words, "I want Brian dead." That makes Wolford go on, has this goal to just kill Brian. And there's a humor side of things. There is a humor of like seeing like how like a turban with it is to kill Brian, and all trying to create ways. I mean, yeah, his way is a gold knife, but it's like the situation here, like he's trying to stab him while Brian's trying to be all hip and whoa, and you go hip hip, Tom, no, Tom Gunn Madwick, and meanwhile his stoner friend is like, dude, Tom Gunn Madwick was like 3 years ago. What do you mean? Oh shit, on man, like, you know, well, let's go, and, and it all leads to like the movie at the cemetery, which I, I okay, I want like there's a joke where like Brian accidentally is laying on top because he's at the like movie at the cemetery is near at a tombstone, and this daughter, this woman goes and says, "Hey, can you like move things away? Can you just move over a little bit? Just you're sitting on my dad's grave." And Biden's like, no, 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 I cannot. I understand your situation, but I will not. I was like, oh my god. It's like, dude, move. Like, show some respect for God's sakes. Because he, thinking the stoner friends are going to come. And that. So there's a, but it is one of the situations where you're there for the friendship of Stu and Brian. And then you saw how bickery there is. You just want these two characters to be together again. And that. So I was more invested with that than the Peters thing. But yeah, I thought the episode was fine, typical Family Guy type stuff. But yeah, anyway, if you've seen the episode, comment below, let me know